In this video, I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way to take in a skirt. For this project, you're going to need thread, pins, measuring tape, scissors, and elastic. It's up to you if you want to use a thick elastic or something a little thinner. The skirt I'm using has a side zip and some lining, but this technique really works for any type of skirt. But it is specifically targeted to fabric that has no stretch. I want to keep the original hem of the skirt because I think it's really pretty, and I'm going to also remove the lining. The skirt is probably a size or two too big for me and a little bit too long as well, so I'm going to show you how to address those two issues. So the goal of this project is to take in your skirt with as little hassle as possible, and that for me means to remove the need for the zipper. We're going to start by placing the skirt inside out, and this can be easily done if you don't have a mannequin, on a table, or on the floor. Now, using my scissors, I'm going to cut from the top of the skirt the length that I want to be shortening it by, keeping in mind around a 3 to 5 centimeter seam allowance. As you can see too, I'm just going to cut around the zipper and keep it intact. And then because again my skirt has lining, I'm going to cut the lining out from the zipper as well so I can entirely detach the lining. So now I just have one layer of skirt with the zipper still attached. The next step is to pin our new side seam, and the goal of this step is to remove the zipper without having to unstitch any of your fabric. Cutting the top off the skirt has made the skirt even bigger, which leaves me more room to pin around the zipper. The goal here is to pin it as tight as you can while still being able to pull it on and off over your hips. Once you take the skirt off, you can readjust your pins to make sure that they're forming a smooth line for the side seam. And as you can see, these pins and this stitch is going to be the one that removes the zipper from the skirt. And if you're happy with the placement, you're ready now to sew along where you pinned, just using a straight stitch. Then you can trim away all that excess fabric, including trimming away the zipper. You can keep that and save that for another project. The second stitch I want to do, because my fabric is fraying, is a zigzag stitch to lock in those threads. So making sure your needle's going over the edge of the fabric, I'm going to do a zigzag stitch all along that new seam. Now we're ready to add in our elastic waistband. We're going to do this by creating a channel at the top of the skirt, and it really helps to use an iron for this process. We're going to fold our fabric over by 1 centimeter and then iron that down. We're then going to determine how thick we need the channel by measuring it up against our elastic and then folding it over by that amount as well. Once that's all ironed, we're ready to sew along where we pinned. We want to make sure that the channel for the elastic is slightly bigger than the width for the elastic so that there's room for it to fit. Make sure that when we're sewing, we're going to leave a gap where we're then going to later be able to insert our elastic. Then again, using a straight stitch, we're just going to sew along the pins. We're now ready to add in our elastic. So I like to usually attach mine to a safety pin, but you can do any technique that you like. The safety pin is a nice technique because when you get it all the way through, you can attach the two ends while you continue to adjust your fabric. When the fabric is all evenly dispersed around the elastic, we can overlap our elastic and we're ready to sew that with a zigzag stitch to attach it. I usually do the zigzag stitch back and forth a couple times to make sure it's secure. And then the final step is just to close up that opening. When you're doing this stitch, make sure that you're not attaching the elastic at all to the fabric. And you're all done. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked this video, please subscribe.